Today I'm going to pitch you a wholesaling deal.
There's just a lot of unknowns right now for me, so it's very hard to make a good firm offer.
I'm so confident about my deal.
How is somebody supposed to just jump into this and go, this is a great idea?
The fact that there has just been nothing transact in the last 8 months to a year shows a certain illiquidity to that market, right?
I think the biggest thing, guys, if we're having a lesson here, who are you pitching to? I have no desire to go to Pembroke. I can't even spell Pembroke.
Okay, look at this. Who wants to buy this deal?
Three investors, Ben Mirzan, Matt McKeever, and our guest investor will watch as entrepreneurs present their deals with only one chance to make the pitch. Brought to you by Cashflow Tribe.
So what I'm asking for is an investment of $40,000.
As far as wholesaling experience up until this point, it's zero, right?
How are you going to take advantage of the wholesale market that's already pretty flooded?
I haven't really talked to Matt or anyone about this.
In this scenario, I feel like I may have to put the money in a duffel bag and drop it behind the dumpster.
Selling a dream, I think you can probably do it, but 10% is probably not what's going to get it done.
Today, I'm asking you investors for $1 million.
You're asking for $1 million. That's a big ask. Right off the bat, that is a huge ask.
Your ask of $1 million doesn't scare me.
I don't know if the numbers are adding up for me, man.
I like the creativity behind the idea of giving us 10% equity in the deals you do, but I think that even that sort of language is a bit convoluted.
I will refuse to invest in someone that refuses to invest in themselves.
For this property that we're taking a look at, it's got an ARV of 165, and our comp is extremely solid, double verified by both me as well as a contractor.
I'm honestly lost as to what we would be talking about.
Is that the question, or?
If it doesn't make sense in the first 2 minutes, it's probably not a good deal for me.
What I'm really interested in doing is getting more people into the Sault Ste. Marie market.
No, I'm pretty sure he's looking for 100% financing. You actually brought too much creativity, which is rare for me to say.
Can I respond, or let's say we come in under ARV, which I really don't think we're going to.
A fast nickel beats a slow dime, dude. Hold on. I got the 40, man. I'm actually giving you a better deal. Do you want to take it?
Straight to the point. What we would like to do is to present you with an opportunity to earn over 21% ROI.
Anybody can buy a duplex. It takes a special person to take that duplex and turn it into a business.
Tying up money for 2 years for the sort of upside that we're looking at just doesn't really fit within my personal investing.
Like, let's not be greedy, guys.
There's still a lot of speculation for me, and if I'm going to speculate, I might as well put my money in the stock market.
Okay, just one at a time.
Not necessarily.
Just reflecting back on the last deal that you were attempting to fund there with Matt, where there was absolute no solid asset at all. It was just on the hopes that someone's marketing is going to pay off.
If you would have had one more slide, you'd have lost me.
I'm going to disagree a little bit. I cannot see that happening.
Don't let the pitch make you a little.
Come on, man.
When you come to the pitch, man, be ready.
My question to you, judges, are you willing to invest in me today?
All right, so let's get right into this.
How much money do you actually need here? I don't even know what numbers you need. Like, you didn't bring me a deal.
Had you leaned upon your experience a bit more, that could have helped.
I will be contributing $100,000 in capital towards the purchase of a flip property.
There's 3 things that I really focus on when I lend: character, capacity, and capital.
This is certainly something we come across all the time.
But without a deal here, man, you're just a nice guy with a hammer.
You are on the clock. 5 minutes. Let's go.
Today, I'm asking you investors for $1 million.
For $100,000.
$146,000.
I'm asking for $300,000.
You're asking for $1 million. That's a big ask.
For me, I do have concerns.
I'm a very nice guy until you ask me for money.
You have an opportunity to play a bigger league. That takes guts. It takes balls. You don't ask, you don't get.
I got to know in the next 30 seconds, and I'm not partnering with anybody else on this deal.
Like, you're getting a great deal, in my opinion.
Today, I'm going to go with my gut and choose.
So today I'm going to pitch you a wholesaling deal.
There's just a lot of unknowns right now for me, so it's very hard to make a good firm offer.
I'm so confident about my deal.
How is somebody supposed to just jump into this and go, this is a great idea?
The fact that there has just been nothing transact in the last 8 months to a year shows a certain illiquidity to that market, right?
I think the biggest thing, guys, if we're having a lesson here, who are you pitching to? I have no desire to go to Pembroke. I can't even spell Pembroke.
Okay, look at this. Who wants to buy this deal?
Take me out to the ball game. Take me. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of The Pitch live here on YouTube, Facebook. We are everywhere, guys. I'm really excited to have you here. We have another epic episode for you guys. I hope you guys are ready. Let's get that comment section going. If you guys enjoy this show, if you guys love what we're coming here with The Pitch, I love to see the comments just go nuts right now. Let's blow it up with fire emojis. Let's just get the investors, let's get our guest pitchers excited and amped up for the show that we got here today. If you guys don't know, this show is the opportunity for investors to pitch their deals, their potential real estate investments, their potential real estate business opportunities to investors who are looking to swing at their deal and go for that pitch. And potentially there can be relationships, money partnerships, joint venture partnerships that are formulated tonight. And they're going to lead you guys through. You guys get to see what it's like to actually pitch deals to real investors. And we are excited for you guys today. So let's get the comment section lit up with some fire emojis. They see a bunch coming in here. What's up, guys? Really appreciate you being here. And again, I just want to give a big shout out to Ben and to Matt for creating this show, The Pitch, creating Cash Flow Tribe, this amazing community that is helping people achieve financial independence through real estate and real estate investing. It's actually amazing. And I remember like way back, it was probably a couple of years now, I was actually there when they met each other for the first time. I had them like on video, like shaking hands for the first time. I was there when they were like having meetings talking about building this business in this company, and to see what it's come to right now and the lives that they're changing is absolutely amazing. So let's give them a bunch of fire emojis to pump them up and get them excited, and to welcome all the amazing things that they're doing here and like all the amazing members and people that they're helping. So right now I want to take a quick second before we bring Daniel, the host, on here and him kick off this show. I want to give a quick welcome to all the new people who have joined Cash Flow Tribe in the last week here. So last week, if you guys remember, if you were on the show, we hit 2,500 members on the Cash Flow Tribe website. And just in this last week alone, over 105 new members have joined. So this is absolutely amazing. And we want to give a shout out to all the amazing people who are joining here. This is like one of the best communities online, even just beyond real estate, that I've personally seen. I've been on the internet for a long time, ever since I was a little kid, trying to find these communities, trying to find people like me. And Cash Flow Tribe is this community that is helping people, not just with real estate, not just with finances, but helping achieve more in life. Money, finances, real estate is just the vehicle to get you to where you want to be, to start going in on your passions in life. And it's amazing to be part of this. And we are so excited to have these new members here who are getting along that path as well too. So we're going to give a quick shout out to all the new members. Thanks to Josh for joining. We have Caden, Doten, Terry, Jeff, Pardeep. We have Acton, Eric, Emmanuel, Sandy, Goran, Alan, Gerald, Abneet, Tracy, Shadeen, Morad, Maxim, we have Autumn, we have Emmanuel. These are just some of the new members who have joined this amazing community in the last week here. I think more people have joined because I opened this. Yeah, we had 2 new people join since I started here. So we have a couple of repeats. We have Paul, we have Dan, we have Audrey, Javaya, Macaulay, Calvin, Laura, Josh, Braylon, Adrian, Prati, Drew, Scott, Susan, Preston, Katharina, Cameron, Ruth. Thank you guys so much for joining Cashflow Tribe and joining this amazing community. And before we get into things, before I send things off here to Daniel and him to host this epic show, I want to show you guys like a neat little feature here that I love about Cashflow Tribes, and it's the forums. As I mentioned, when I was growing up as a child, I was trying to find these communities. Right now, Cashflow Tribe is like a mix between Facebook, these old school forums. They got courses, they got free calculators. They have everything that you need to start leveling up as a real estate investor. And I love message boards and forum boards. So they have an epic message and forum board here. And one of the things I really want to point out is that they have everything also segregated out by province. So if you're looking to connect with like-minded investors in your local area, this is where you guys need to be. You need to be joining this website. You need to be on here because this is where people are connecting. Private off-market deals are going down on the website and are going down in this community. So if you guys are looking to level up as a real estate investor, you need to become one of these new members. If you guys aren't joined to Cashflow Tribe, you guys need to join Cashflow Tribe today. You guys got to get on that. And I'm about to send this off to Daniel, but before we do, let's get Daniel all pumped up here. Let's see some shout outs to Daniel in the comments section. If you guys are excited for today's show, leave him some fire emojis, leave him some comments, and we will get into the show in the next second here.
3 investors: Ben Mirzan, Matt McKeever, and our guest investor will watch as entrepreneurs present their deals with only one chance to make the pitch. Brought to you by Cashflow Tribe.
What is going on, everybody? I hope you're doing well. It is Thursday night, which means tonight is the pitch, brought to you by Cashflow Tribe. I am your host, Daniel Blagrove. It is so good to be on for yet another show. I'm excited because I'm ready to go. So is Sonny Kangs. Come on, man. I'm ready to go. Alexander, what's up, man? All right, guys, put it in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Drop your city in the comments. I want to know who I'm engaging with. Guys, this is the pitch. And for those who don't know, this is the show where investors make a pitch to potential money partners, to potential money investors, to potential people who just got money to spend on real deals to make real money. This is the chance where you can raise capital for your real estate investments or for your real estate business. I want to know, let me know in the chat where you're tuning in from, because we got 2 pitchers tonight who's going to throw some deals at some investors, and we're going to see who's going to swing at them tonight. Vaughn in the building. What's up, my man? Florida Keys. Okay. All right. I'm not going to waste any time because we got dimes to see who's going to spend. All right. I got to bring on Ben and Matt. You already know the deal. They come with money to lend, money to make until the end. But I definitely got to recommend you guys to check out Cashflow Tribe, because this is the #1 real estate community online, period. And obviously, we're right now with everything going on, we're not able to do in-person events. We will get to that one day. But right now, you may be sitting at home trying to figure out, how do I get in the game of real estate? And I want to tell you, sign up with Cashflow Tribe. Get a free membership. Get inundated in our community. That way you can start to get answers, get some quality conversations, build some connections, build up your network, because we have over 2,600 new members in Cashflow Tribe, just as Peter, the producer, had so eloquently laid out for us. All right, so without further ado, let's get right into it. I'm going to go ahead and bring on my main judges, our main guys. You already know the deal, and I got to start off with the humble, the one who comes to rumble, but the one who comes. I have nothing else to rhyme with that. I'm going to bring on Ben Mirzan. Come on, man.
Yo, $1.7 million I'm bringing to the table today, Daniel Blagrove. Do not waste my time. Get ready. You can see it right here. The anger is coming through, man. I'm ready to do deals. Hopefully you guys got something. Let's go. We got the Terminator tonight, man. So let's go. Everybody in the house, freaking let's go.
An immigrant from Romania, Ben Mirzan escaped communism and became Southwestern Ontario's largest single-family investor. Ben has done almost 300 deals in Canada, becoming a multimillionaire by the age of 30, and is the CEO of Cashflow Tribe, who has a passion for helping others reach their true potential. All right. Ben is in the building. We got to get a couple more people in. Y'all might know him. He had the beard. He comes with no fear, but he's got the money to make, money to spend, and money to lend. His name is Matt McKeever.
Awesome. Thank you for that introduction, Daniel. Excited to see some deals tonight.
Achieving financial independence and quitting his day job at the age of 31, serial entrepreneur and angel investor Matt McKeever is Canada's leading real estate investor on YouTube. With a portfolio of over 150 units, Matt shares his wisdom with his growing following of over 70,000 subscribers and over 4.5 million views. All right, guys. We got someone in the red corner. We got someone in the blue corner, but we got one more person coming to you. Listen, he has a YouTube channel called Exceller 8 TV with over 45,000 subscribers. He had 144 units, but he did some selling, sold 46 of those doors in the last 4 years. So right now, he currently still has 98 doors as a real estate investor. He also doubles as a real estate agent, flipping houses as well. And he himself, in 2021, guys, in 2021, let me check the date. It's February 25th. In 2021, he's already loaned over $2 million. And so far this year, he owns a commercial flat roofing company that employs over 10 people, 11 people. He has businesses in the salon construction firm as well as the restaurant business. Listen, this man is all over. You can't just limit him to one asset class. He is doing deals. He's doing it real. And I got to bring you the one and only Mike Van Hout.
Woohoo! So that was beautiful, man. Do I get a video at the end as well? Because everybody got a video. I feel like I should have sent you guys my video so I can... That's awesome.
Yeah, we got to work on that one, but it's so good to have you in the show, man. I just want to start off by giving you the floor, just quick 30 seconds, just anything you want to say to the people while we're on here.
Yeah, man. I bought properties starting in 2005 when I was 21, and I bought student rentals. I bought low-income housing. I sold all that stuff, and I just bought better quality product. I still do flips every 2-3 years just to keep my guys busy. Because if you lose your guys, man, your businesses go down, right? So you got to keep good guys with you. So I've done that. I like to diverse as much as I can. I'm not the type of guy that that's just the one thing. I've done deals with most people that are watching. I'm sure there's like at least 3 people that I've seen in the comments that I've done deals with, or I've loaned them money, or sold them something, or something like that. So yeah, man, I'm open ears. I'm like, we got one life to live, and let's get it done.
Come on, man. I'm ready to roll. I'm ready to go. But I got to give an honorable mention. Listen, we got a special group of people in Cashflow Tribe. We call them the ambassadors, and they are holding a watch party together while we're hosting this show. I got to shout them out, guys. They're right here within this room. And so I got to shout them out. Ambassadors, what's up to you? I hope you're doing well. Tune into the show. We're going to see some real deals going down. But with that said, let's bring on the first pitcher. I hope you guys are ready. All right, let's rock and roll. The first person was a pipe fitter by trade, working in Alberta in the oil sands, and has been investing in real estate for over 11 years. He recently took a leave from his full-time job and has transitioned into full-time real estate investing since 2020 last year. And so he currently has 10 properties with 18 doors with a heavy focus on flipping and wholesaling. In the last 7 months, he has flipped 5 properties, wholesaled 5 properties, and completed a big duplex conversion and a couple of burrs. I got to bring him on. He's the one and only Callie Brathwaite. What's up, man?
What's going on? Thanks for that intro, brother.
Come on, Callie.
Let's go. Happy to be here. Happy to be here. Hey, first of all, I just want to say how awesome it is to have the opportunity to have, these guys even listen to my pitch. Having this opportunity is amazing. This is a great show. And join Cashflow Tribe and Council. Let's go.
Yo, why don't you stop kissing ass and let's get to work over
Let's
here,
go!
man. I appreciate that.
Come on, Callie. All right, let's break it down. Callie, you have a couple minutes uninterrupted to go in and make your pitch. The timer starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
Cool. Well, listen, I actually have a proposal. Originally, I was going to offer an opportunity for a 20% ROI for a dollar amount, but I decided to switch it up as I paid attention to my audience and make it a little sweeter. What I'm presenting is okay, let's go with the slides then. So basically, I call this the homeowner incentive program, where everybody wins, including the homeowners. We can go to the next slide. So our goal is to partner with homeowners by giving them the opportunity to create more wealth than in an as-is sale. Next slide. So quick as-is sales are not the only option. I feel like too many homeowners are leaving too much money on the table by being pressured or feeling pressured of selling their houses without taking advantage of the upside of strategic renovations. So let's go to the next slide. What we want to do is we want to incentivize homeowners by sharing the profits. So basically what we want to do is we want to work with homeowners and give them the opportunity to do the renovations on their property with them without technically becoming the new owner of the property. So we've been able to create a contract with a lawyer where we would register our renovation budget against the property of the house as security in order to do the strategic renovations, increase the value, and share the profits with the homeowner. Next slide. Basically, I pretty much gave a high level of what this is here. We can go to the next slide. I'm going to get down to the here we go. So the summary of the investor incentives, there's really a lot more than what I have here. And hopefully the conversation that we have after this will give me the opportunity to share with you guys some more of the opportunities. For example, right now we're working on a project, and I didn't want to make this project that we're working on the focus of my pitch, but it's an example of what it is we can do. So there's a Toronto project. We have a fair market value that we agreed on with the homeowner of $700,000. We figure with $100,000 of strategic renovations, we can bring the value up to $1 million. The homeowner would be involved by being able to invest into that renovation. So 1/3 of the renovation is going to be paid for by the homeowner. The other 2/3 is what I'm looking to pretty much get from you guys today. The investor would put roughly $66,000 in, and their ROI would be 70% at $46,500. So what's really cool about this type of strategy is that the initial investment from the investor, the capital, the cash on cash return is far greater than if you had to go and actually, get a mortgage. Also the friction costs in Toronto, the land transfer tax twice. Like on ratehub.ca, I pretty much found the calculation for the land transfer tax in Toronto on a $700,000 purchase is $20,000. So immediately there's a savings there, which is an immediate profit for all of us involved. One of the benefits that I do want to mention as well is the opportunity for the referral business. So when presenting a package like this or a program like this, it gives the homeowners more incentive after when they walk away with an extra, in this case, almost $50,000 to tell their friends, tell their family, tell their neighbors, tell everybody they know how much more they made than they thought they would have if they sold their house in as-is condition. As far as the Geez, 1 second here. Yeah, I think basically with this deal, there's like a lot of upside. What questions do you guys have for me?
Well, right off the bat, bring up that slide real quick. I have a question. Actually, it's more of a comment here.
I love questions.
All right. You come to me and you say that investor needs to put in 666. Are you speaking to me? Like, you see my screen is red right now. Could you not have picked a more convenient number here? I mean, you're making me feel like I'm going to make a shitty deal. Like, it looks like I'm doing the devil's work over here. You know, it's all red and everything else and orange. You should have made it green or something like that. Like 666, man. That's a tough number to swallow.
I was, you know what? That's a good point. I was hoping you were paying closer attention to the people jumping in the background, the homeowners who are finally getting a chance to win, right?
They're not jumping. They're burning in hell.
No.
And this thing's red 666 everywhere. Is this a good plan for the homeowner? Okay, so let me make sure I dissect this. I understand this correctly. So I'm going to put in here $46,000. You're saying that the homeowner is going to somehow facilitate or do the rehab. The property stays in their name. When the property gets sold, you're saying it's worth $1 million, and on the back end, you're offering $46,000 here, which is a 70% return on capital. Is that kind of the general understanding?
That is. Now, there's one thing that, as I was presenting, just caught in the moment. One important part that I do want to mention is that I am also looking for a $10,000 a month budget for marketing. So that's a very important piece that I want to put out there as well.
So
okay, so make sure I understand this. So first of all, you want $66,000 plus 666, yes, which will change that to 667, just to make sure. There's an accounting thing. And then you want an additional $10,000 because you need to find this homeowner, or because you already have this deal in the work?
No, so this is a program. I want to expand on this. This is just one example. This is one pilot project, we'll call it. But I want to actually dial down and look for more opportunities like this specifically. So I'm looking for a long-term partner who wants to invest in the business and take an equity share.
All right, now we got to let everybody get their thoughts together. I'm going to give the floor to our guest investor. Mike, do you have any questions, any thoughts, anything that you want to dissect with Callie's pitch?
Yeah, so I've invested in quite a few businesses in the last couple of years, and I have put money out in lots of variations of this sort of formula that you have, because it's a formula essentially, and it's basically about getting the person. But I will say, I mean, I've been in sales since I was 16, I would say 15, 16, as far as back as I can remember. And businesses that involve dealing with people consistently for your and their benefit is a tough thing to sway across both ways, right? So what's your opinion on getting somebody to commit to you and not somebody else stealing it? Like, let's say tomorrow, Ben and Matt decide, you know what, we're going to spend $10,000 of our money and pitch exactly what you told us. So how do you guarantee yourself that your structure to work for you?
Yeah, well, I think it comes with the mindset, right? I mean, anybody can do a lot of things, right? Like anybody can open up restaurants and try to compete with McDonald's, but McDonald's has the best process. So I have confidence in my process. I have confidence in the people that I'm working with, and I'm not afraid of competition. So I think the best thing is to do it and not let that stop me. I know there's going to be competition. It's a good idea, so I don't see why other people wouldn't do it. But I think it's more important to focus on who's involved and what they're benefiting from. I'm not really worried about that things being stolen from me, to be honest with you. Are you?
Am I worried about it stolen from you? No, I guess for me, it's about the power is in the deal of the person, the commitment, right? So without the commitment, it's just an idea, right? And it's just a thing. So do you have a Rolodex of deals at the moment that you have? Or is it just the two deals that you have and you figured that the structure works, so you're just going to roll with it? Yeah, so right now I have one live one right now that I'm actively engaged in, and that's where this kind of why we're rolling with this, right? Is that it makes so much sense. Seems like a great opportunity for the homeowner, great opportunity for the investor. It just seems like a win-win-win, and I think that it's not often that we have those types of scenarios.
So this is one that I'm glad to be a part of. And I think that anybody who wants to be a part of it with me is going to be very happy as well.
Okay. So have you gone through anything? You're going through the process, but have you finalized the process, like one contraption yet?
No, so I haven't done it from start to finish yet. This is very early in it, but the timing for the show was great timing, I think, because I think the advantage of someone like yourself or any other one of the judges here to get in early is definitely an advantage before this thing blows up. Yeah. And then, obviously it would be less, we wouldn't need to ask for or offer what we're offering, right?
Yeah, like timing in the market is important on when this thing happens, right? Because you try to do this 5 years ago, it doesn't work because the numbers don't make sense and people don't have to go through this process to get to where you are. But let me ask you one quick question about when you invest your dollars or whoever's money you have on the table in the current project you have. How do you make certain that your dollars are safe? And I only ask that because you're not adding yourself on title. You're just making a contract with the homeowner. Where's your sort of where the homeowner is like, well, sorry, man, we just our son just hit somebody and we're getting sued and we're getting sued for $3 million and our house is worth $1 million and we lose everything. So where do you have your where do you draw the line of risk for yourself, I guess?
Mike, that's a great question. So I apologize because I had a little bit of a deer in the headlights moment as I was presenting. So I missed some very valid points there. But actually, we plan on registering the renovation cost against the property in the form of a second mortgage at 150% of the budget. So therefore, it protects us so that if the homeowner does decide to love it instead of list it, then we're protected to get our investment and our time back, right?
For sure. But don't you find that the people that you're going to get and the people that are going to be on board with your deals, per se, usually have seconds? They're not guys that have homes that are paid off, because then why would they even worry about, like, the people you're going to get for the most part are people that have seconds, or they're heavy, they're not like us, right? I guess they're not like us where we're like, why would I go in business with you when I don't need you, right? I can do it myself. So how do you plan to counteract that issue?
So far, the fact that we actually have a live deal like this in the works tells me that there are opportunities, and that not everybody is like us, right? And I don't expect everybody to be like me or you or any, so everyone has their own scenarios, especially right now, like in certain pockets, we want to expand this as wide as far reach as possible. But right now in Toronto, there's a lot of people because of COVID who are, struggling, right? And they've lived in a house for 5-10 years. They've accumulated tons of equity. The house prices are just skyrocketing, but they haven't had the opportunity to do the renovations or upgrades to get the highest and best, return on their property. So what we want to do is, again, another opportunity for the lender is that because we want the homeowner to be involved in the process, if they don't have the capital, we would even consider partnering with a lender, whether it be you or Matt or Ben, to loan them that money, right? So there's another opportunity for you to possibly get another extra return on your capital, right?
For sure. So I think that's good for questions for me. Matt or Ben, you got questions?
Come on, let's open the floor. Let's give it to Matt.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, Callie. So just a couple questions on the overall process, because I don't think we got too deep into it yet. So are you targeting on average a homeowner that's using this as their principal residence?
Ideally, it would be a homeowner that's not using it as their principal residence, because there's the we have to think of, when we're doing the renovations, where they're going to stay, right? So this particular deal that we're working on, the homeowner, it is their primary residence, but they have a place to stay in the interim. What I was thinking of doing is, using an appraised value going forward to get the deal under contract, not sold, but to come to an agreement as a benchmark price, and then deduct 5% plus HST, because that's what they would pay if they were selling the property on the market, and use those funds towards helping them either with a short-term rental, moving costs, just any expenses that come up to, to provide value to them, right?
Yeah. And then just to be really clear on what your overall ask is, what is your overall ask? What's the total dollar amount? Because you mentioned a $10,000 a month marketing spend. I'm assuming that's lead gen, but what's the total dollar amount you're actually asking for?
So it would be more deal specific. I think that I would want to know that I'm working with somebody who has access to, you know, for starters, if it's just one person who wants to partner with us, $1 million available, but I wouldn't need $1 million at once. So great example, the deal that I'm currently working on, all I would need is around $67,000, and then going forward, $10,000 budget for marketing.
Okay.
Okay, let me swing at this thing real quick. Callie, guys, equity equals opportunity. You know, the Canadian market has come up a lot in the last few years, a lot. And the whole thing is basically one big pop. Let's be honest. The income hasn't risen to the level the equity has. It's speculation marketplace. When you've got equity in a property, there's opportunities. I like the homeowner incentive program, as you're calling it, HIP. But what I would prefer is the humble opportunity program, HOP. So let me replace your HIP and add a little HOP in the mix. Here's where the humble opportunity program comes in. Listen, it's got to be a win-win, but at the same time, the equity is where I'm covered. What's the fair market value of this thing as it stands today? You got it for $700. Cool, good. What is it at right now before the reno, before the ARV?
I say right now it's roughly around 800,000.
You'd say, or you have comps?
I didn't provide comps because I didn't want to focus on this deal in specific. I wanted to focus on the concept.
Okay, cool. But I like proof of concept as a great idea.
Sure.
So if you have the comps and you have the data on this particular deal, it really whets the appetite a lot more. Because hypothetically, you go, okay, man, you're coming in, I want 67 grand. And if I do 67 grand, then this thing's going to be worth $1 million. I hope there's some comps there, by the way, at the after the repair value.
Yeah.
I'm looking at, well, there's over $230,000 worth of equity here. Okay, I get it. If the market takes a correction and let's say it drops 20%, I've still got something there tangibly. Here's the reality. The whole system is built on debt. The whole thing. We're a middle-class economy. It's debt, debt, debt. There's over $1.80 of debt for every dollar of discretionary income out there. So I don't hate this model. In fact, it's a disruptive model. I like disruptive models. You're going to piss off every wholesaler because you're basically saying, don't bother wholesaling your deal, fix it yourself and get top dollar. Cool. I'm good for that. I'm good for capitalism. So I actually like this deal. The question I need to understand really, really good is this. All right. When do I get my money? How long is my money in this deal on this rehab before we get paid?
Right. No, that's a good question. So I'm projecting that each renovation from start to finish should roughly be between 4 and 8 months, depending on the scope of work. So 4 to 8 months is how long it should take for you to get your money from the time that we start the project to the time that the house gets sold and the funds are in the bank.
Okay, so let's just assume it's 8 months here. Now, one thing that you said I didn't like was this. I want the primary residence. I want the most attached thing that person has as an asset. This is a secondary home for somebody, and they're going to do this thing. It's going to be based on speculation. I can do the rehab, sell it for top dollar, whatever. What's the reason they're going to hang on to this property? Let's say we're 3 months into the rehab on this thing, and we got 6 more months to go. Isn't it likely that somebody might just walk away and go, it's not my primary residence? Why not move everybody into a short-term accommodation and leave it as their primary? When it's primary, it's front of mind. I've seen too many deals back in 2009 and 10 when it was somebody's second home, investment property, whatever. When they go sour, guess what? Their kids can still eat Cheerios and still go home and watch television. But when it's your primary home, you're forced to deal with the consequences. So you're losing me there on the primary piece. So address that, if you will.
Yeah, for sure. We can definitely look at like structuring something where, you know, for a primary residence, we can have a loan to value max higher than we would if it was a secondary or an income property, right? To secure. So I mean, whoever I'm working with, they have to be comfortable too with their money out there, right? So if your comfort level is whatever, I'd have to respect that. And we have to have that conversation to see whether or not that's something that we want to work with.
Okay, so the current deal as it stands here, though, really you're looking for 67 grand. Now we talk about security. is this thing going to be registered on title or is this unsecured?
Yep,
okay.
Registered.
Hey, now you got my attention.
Yeah,
so
man.
got a second mortgage? Okay. You know I want registered, okay? We got a second mortgage, third. What are you doing?
Second.
Okay, so I'm giving you second mortgage. The cost basis on this thing is now $760,000. Assuming you guys all do the work, it's worth $700,000. Worst case scenario, I'm giving you $60,000. You're at $760,000. It's worth $800,000. Presumably, you come up with comps. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now here's a bigger question. I do like this deal, but can you find 9 more? Can you find 10 more? Is that where the $10,000 comes in?
Yeah. So that's exactly right. So I think that it will happen. The marketing, like this is a new concept, so there's going to be some potential growing pains, but potentially not. And I think that's why I'm coming to you guys as, angel investors potentially to invest in this opportunity to grow with me, right?
Okay. But the $10,000 doesn't seem like that. Like, did you come here for the $10,000 or you came here for something else? Advice, mentorship?
I came for everything. I came for the $10,000 commitment. I came for the $10,000 monthly commitment for marketing, which is a mix of, direct mail and online marketing. And
why come for the $10,000, dude? Like, you're coming for 67 on the one deal. Why convolute the deal with an extra 10? Why try to, kill one bird and then get another one just because it's like, it's not a buy one, get one free. Why not just go for the main thing, prove the model with the investor, and then raise the $10,000 afterwards? Why try to get it all in one shot?
That's fine. I have no issues doing that. I have no issues with proof of concept and then working on the marketing piece afterwards. I just want to know that you're interested, and that if you are, that we can have that conversation and get that commitment.
I'll tell you what, though. I like that you're pushing, though. I love this guy. He's not taking no for an answer. That's my kind of guy.
Callie, you are that guy. And so listen, we are going to move to the final offer stage. This is where we're going to have Matt, we're going to have Mike and Ben present, if they would, any final offers, whether they're in or they're out. But we will get to that soon. I just need to hear from you guys. Will you do this deal? Would you do this deal? If you have dimes to spend, would you get in on this as an investor? And while you put those comments in, we want to hear from you. Check this out.
We will be right back after these words from Cashflow Tribe.
All right, we are back. We are live, and I'm ready. So listen, Callie has made his pitch. We've had some deliberation. Now it's time to get to the final offer. But before we get there, I just want to remind everybody, if you don't know, we have the #1 real estate community. The pitch is brought to you by Cashflow Tribe. This is a community where you're able to understand, to learn, to connect in order to do deals when it comes to real estate investing. Our 4 pillars are community, results, impact, and transparency. We're all about helping you get to the next level in your investing. And so check out Cashflow Tribe at cashflowtribepitch.com. Grab a free membership. We'll be happy to check you out. And also, if you are looking to be a part of this conversation after the show, we will be having what we call the dugout. It's an opportunity for us to hear from Mike, from Ben, from Matt, and understand what goes through their mind when they're asking questions, why they decided to step out or to get in on a deal. We will be having this live on Zoom after the call. All you got to do is grab a premium membership at Cashflow Tribe at cashflowtribepitch.com. Okay, boys, listen, this is the final offer stage. I got to give it to our guest investor first. Mike Van Hout, are you in? Are you out? What is your offer?
Well, Callie, thanks again, man. I really like how you brought it up. A couple of things I don't like about this deal is, one is giving power to the people. And I'm sorry, but I can't give power to the people here because, as Ben said, man, if people live in it, they've got so much skin in that game. And now with all this hype that's out there, man, how do you not get overvalue that that they can't get, right? I mean, because no matter what people think their house is worth, it's always worth a little bit less than what they think it's worth in their mind, right? That's always the case. So you're trying to buy something from people that is kind of hard to kind of break, right? That's, to me, that's the biggest sticking point for me is people. I've dealt with people for so long, so many years, from every single class of dollar amount. It doesn't matter. I've dealt with them. In terms of the deal, I would have honestly preferred if you came today and you said, you know what, guys, I want to partner one of you three. I don't care how it goes. I'm willing to give you like 50% of what I have in this just to prove the concept to you guys, because we've got $3,000 in this party. We got 3,000 people in this party, and we want part of these 3,000 people to be on board with me as my team, as my support. You know, that's one angle. That's what I would have come to the table with. I would have brought that to you guys, and then for sure I would have jumped in. I said, man, 60K, who cares? I'll give you 60K all day. And then we would have made whatever. Even if I made 10 grand over 3 months, it just proved to you that your game is right. And then I would have gone through and you have a believer. But now I'm buying into a business with a partner that, you know, I don't know you well enough in this short kind of segment, right, that we're talking about. That's the first thing. Second thing, we're talking about an environment now where, like, that's why wholesaling is so popular, because you can get in, get out, flip the paper, and you're gone. But you want to go through a long marriage with a homeowner that has so much like commitment and emotion with their house. Then you're talking about materials. What if you paint it the wrong color? They don't like it, but it's better for the market, but they don't see it that way. Now you're stuck with this property, or, you know, fighting. And man, you know how much stress that's going to cause? Like, I still got some hair in my head, so I'm trying to keep it that way, you know? So that's it. I see you. So for me, I'm out on the business concept until you can come back here 3 months from now and say, look, man, I've got 6 deals that it work for me. And I think there's probably 6 months left in this game. And as Ben would say, like, it's inflated and we're all really, it's hot, steamy market, and it's still hot and steamy. And then we can rock with it. And you have like 20 deals in the pipeline. You just need to talk to the people. You need a second guy to come in to prove that the concept works. So I think that it's kind of hard to have like a flip, I guess, of sorts, and then a concept, and then, you know, and trying to put them both together on stage today. So that's what I think. So for me, for now, I'm out. I kind of like what you're at. You've sort of found, it's not entirely new. It's kind of a hybrid concept, so it's not a totally new concept. But I think the more you prove it, man, and I think the more you put your emotion in it, I think you can sell anything to anybody. So that's what I would be if I were you.
All right, we got 2 more people to make possible final offers. I'm gonna give the floor to Ben. Ben, do you have a final offer you wish to make to Cali tonight?
Hey, Cali, I like the pitch, man. I like the business idea. You know, I agree with a lot of what Mike's saying, but you know what? I like this deal. I like the disruptive nature. You know, Mike doesn't trust the homeowner, and I can't blame the guy. Man, homeowners make stupid decisions. That's why they're called homeowners and not rich homeowners. This is the reality. What happens? You give somebody credit, they're going to use it. And I think, unfortunately, if the markets rise and they raise the interest rates in a little while, we're going to have people living in properties they can't afford. No different than the old market. You know, I remember I watched Kevin O'Leary recently say, I got 30% of my money in cash. And I think so many people don't have a dime in cash or the ability to make a move. So, Cali, my question to you, man, what would you rather have, an equity partner, or are you looking more for debt on this deal? Because I think trying to shoot 2 birds with 1 stone is going to be really difficult here. I would have liked to see this in a more structured, clear way. Because here's the question. Are you the tipping point guy? Are you the guy that takes a pretty good idea and you figured out the nuances that allow it to overflow and allow this opportunity to go do 10, 20, 30, 40 deals a month because it makes sense? I don't mind robbing wholesalers. I know everybody doesn't want to hear that, but I don't mind giving the power back to the people. I am for the people. I am for the people. I've come from the people. But I guess what I'm saying, though, is, I don't know, the execution of the idea, there's a lot of questions here. So here's the question. Equity or debt? What are you asking for primarily if you got to pick one?
Well, I think so that's a good question. I appreciate your insight. If it was equity, what would make sense to you? If it was debt, what would make sense to you?
Well, debt goes on the books, second mortgage registration. We got to have a juicy number. I like the one you have. That's fine. We can do that piece, and we can keep funding these things over and over again. So if you keep finding more of these $700,000 properties and you're looking for that 60 grand, I mean, frankly, I'm not greedy. I know my color is red, but I'm not that greedy. I don't need a 70% return. I mean, it sounds great, but when the number sounds too great, I have to question the opportunity at hand. You know, I had somebody one time offer me a 200% return in 2 months. And I said, no, thank you. Right? I don't want to meet you behind the alley with the garbage bag full of money. I'm not interested. So I'm a little concerned on that because we got to get it from somewhere. So what I would say is, if it's that component, let's create the debt partnership. We'll bring the money. We'll bring the 70, 80 grand every time. We'll finance the deal, put it together, allows the homeowner to move forward. I love the fact that they're making an extra 100 grand. That's amazing. But again, I got to be very clear. It's all a bubble. The price action and the underlying value of the asset are two different things. We're not Wall Street bets over here. The truth is, if a property is going to sell for 100 grand over asking price, that doesn't mean that's what it's worth. That means that some desperate buyer showed up and either greed or fear, a combination of both, and they decided to make an offer based on their own accord. So the other side of this thing is simple. If you can find these properties and all you need is $10,000 in a partnership, I would do that deal with you. I'll give you the 10 grand. We do the campaign, whatever it is, however you acquire these leads. And if that means we get into deals, I can front both of them. I'm cool with that. But I want to see deals like this, and it's got to be a one at a time type of thing to prove the model works. Because there's a lot of concerns here, man, about the homeowner. Because when they're involved, they might make some stupid decisions. I like you, but I want the homeowner to pitch me. Thoughts?
Great.
Hold on. Before we continue, I got to give Matt the floor. This is the final offer stage. So we're going to go ahead and give Matt the floor. Matt, if you have a final offer you wish to present, the floor is yours.
So I don't have a final offer to present, but I'll maybe just provide some insight or perspective here, or maybe a second opinion, Callie. So I think this idea isn't new. Guys were doing it in the 80s and people will continue to do it. I know realtors and investors that currently implement it. I think the most difficult thing is going to be scaling this business model. This is a very relationship-oriented thing. I personally don't think that you're going to successfully scale it. I think it's a magic trick that can be done in one-off circumstances, but without a very clear plan to execute it. And to be honest, I think the idea is simple. The execution's difficult. So I think there's still a lot of execution on the business model just to flesh out. Even things like the $10,000 a month, that's just an arbitrary dollar amount with no real ROI tagged to it or no real intention or purpose behind it in regards to the number of deals that you're going to create. So I suspect that you put this all together last minute to try and get on here quick. So I think I would really take the time and make sure that you understand what you're trying to accomplish as an investor and whether these one-off deals will really allow you to scale and achieve that goal.
All right, listen, Callie, we have one person who is interested in your deal. Ben, the floor is yours. We got 2 minutes before we got to move on to the next pitcher. So let's be quick. Let's make it straight. Ben, let's make it happen.
Okay, dude, I'll give you the 67 grand just to make sure I'm not violating. You're offering a 70% return in 8 months. That sounds crazy. I'll take a 50% return because it sounds too good to be true. If we can get this one deal done, I'm in for a whole bunch of other deals. I built the program to help homeowners, so I'm sensitive to this. I built the program years ago that put people in homes that couldn't get a mortgage. And as of today, we've got over 100 mortgages on the book to prove that that model works. So I have been in your shoes, dude, where it's incredibly difficult to be the pioneer of something. And I don't think any idea is ever new. It's just rephrased, repositioned. The question is, are you the guy to bring that home? I know how much I struggled to put that program together, but how valuable it was, because today there's millions of dollars created in equity or manufactured through the market cycle that those homeowners now possess, right? So I'd be willing to do that first deal. I'll throw up the 67 grand, be happy to take a 50% ROI, and I'll give you an entire year instead of the 8 months just to make sure. And if that comes to fruition, dude, we're in business.
And what about the marketing? Can you help out with the marketing?
What's help out? I need a concrete business plan to know what we're spending the money on.
Okay.
That's the challenge. Where's the 10 grand going? You know, for all I know, you're just going to go buy McDonald's with it.
Okay, we can talk about
that. Let me ask you a question. Let me just ask you a question real quick. I know we got to move on here, but how did you get this deal? How much did it cost you an acquisition cost to acquire this one deal?
So 0. It was relational.
Whoa. Okay. Yeah. How do we do that though?
Well, you see, that's what I'm emphasizing is that with this program, I think once this one is completed, homeowners are going to be the spokes in the wheel to keep it rolling, right? It's the power of referral.
You need a success story so that you can actually promote this program out. Okay, I follow you now. All right, why don't you say that from the beginning? All right, I'll tell you what. Let's close this deal. At least get the 67 registered on title. If we get the 67 registered on title and we get the documentation done, I'll throw the other 10 grand to go acquire the next customer base. But we're not going to stop at that. We'll need some good marketing material. We'll need a decent website. We'll need to get this testimonial drafted and drawn up so that you can park this out. And we'll see if we have a real business, or as Matt McKeever would say, it's a one-trick pony.
Appreciate it.
Callie, what do you say?
I take the deal.
Got a deal,
Come
man.
on, man.
Ben Humble's growing with Cali. Let's go.
Yes, sir. That's awesome. Callie, congrats to you for getting the deal secured. You threw your pitch and you had an investor swing at bat and you got it done. Well, I want to give you just 15 seconds to share any thoughts to our audience today.
Yeah, quickly. Thanks a lot, guys, for listening to the pitch. I appreciate the input. It's really cool that, everybody has their own kind of perspective of things, and that's just how life is. I'm glad that Ben was able to see eye to eye and give me that opportunity. So I'm looking forward to an awesome next couple years of these deals here. Hip and hop.
That's awesome.
Yeah, hip hop real estate sounds good though.
Awesome. Good stuff, Callie. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to remind you that if you want to know how our investors think when it comes to doing deals, getting access to the money for deals, hang out with us in the dugout. It's a Zoom call right after this stream, so you can join us. Just grab a premium membership at Cashflow Tribe. Pitch.com, and you can hang out with us right after the show. So let me know in the comments, guys, would you have done this deal? Are you ready for pitcher number 2? Because I'm not about to waste any time. We got to get going. Okay, listen, let me tell you a little story about him. He was born in Russia, and he finished university there and came to Canada at 22 years old. Fast forward, he joined Cashflow Tribe in 2020, and within 60 days was able to do his first deal. He also did a recent flip project within a timeline of 3 weeks and currently has 3 properties. I want to bring you to the stage. Welcome, Artur Bigulatov.
Woo. Yeah, you got to practice on pronunciation there, Daniel, but that's fine.
I got to work on that, man. Come on, man. I'm down bad right now, but listen, you got to give me a second chance. I'll get it right by the end of your pitch. Listen.
There's too many comedians on the show. Why so many damn comedians on this show, man? Let's go. We got money to go. Mike's getting bored over here.
Having fun.
The question is, can the humor lead to the money? Now, here we are with Art. Here, listen, you got 5 minutes uninterrupted to make your pitch to Ben, to Mike, to Matt. Are you ready? I hope you are, because you're on in 3, 2, 1, go.
I've been waiting for this. Thanks, guys, for having me. If I can have my presentation shared, please. Okay, so have you guys ever built 4 to 6 units on a 65 to 120 foot lot? If not, we have a plan to make it happen. The question is if you guys would like to be a part of this unique and historic project to be built in the Calgary real estate market. So what's given? I have 2 empty lots with 2 titles on it, totaling 65 to 120 foot size lot. It's properly zoned for the secondary to be developed with secondary suite on it. And we are planning on building semi-detached house over there. Put a double car garage on it. And what makes this deal most attractive is we are going to put legal garden suite, also known as lane housing, also known as backyard suite. And that's what makes this deal sweet. So on my next slide, I'm going to show you some links where you can find why Calgary is an attractive market. And but like it's somebody else's opinion. We all know we have our own opinion being sophisticated investors. So, but the quick overlook at no PST, no land transfer tax in Alberta, and low corporate income taxes. And Calgary has one of the biggest in the history vacancy rate in downtown core to attract bigger players, which means more people to come, more places to live for those people. So on my next slide, this is just a little overlook. The red pin is where the property is at, and we can see like everything will 5 to 10 minutes drive in order to support the guys who live over there. And it's 7 minutes to the C train station and 15 minutes to downtown core to get to work if we have to. Let's go to the next one, please. So these are the numbers. So these are too generic, and those numbers are too good to be invested in because our building cost would be a little too much. So we'll just keep this. I'll just mention like one number out of this particular slide is the land purchase price, which needs to be purchased prior to start building, is $520,000 roughly. Next slide, please. So we have two scenarios, basically to build semi-detached with a legal basement with a garden suite, backyard suite on top of the double car garage, which makes our investment more secure in the way to get out of it because we have more rooms and we have more square footage to exit out and to rent out. So if you guys are interested, we can definitely go into these numbers a little further, but the quick overlook, construction cost would be roughly $770,000 based on $200 per square foot, and the land to purchase per site would be likely $260,000 each. So $1 million per site, and to finish off the project roughly. So the next slide will show us that our next option is just to have single-family house, a semi-detached house with legal basement, with double garage, without this garden suite, in order to minimize the building cost, but minimize our opportunity to rent out for the future. If we can go to the next slide, please. So this is a little overcome and little overview on what this project is going to take. So while you guys looking at those numbers, just want to make sure you guys understand this is still in a very rough stage. I'm working with architect and designer. I'm also working with builders. I'm getting quotes and I'm putting all my numbers final together. The only number that is firm is the land price. So we can get it between $510,000 to $530,000. We have several execution points at this point. What I see by looking into this deal, and basically it will vary from investor to investor, from lender to lender, depends on what everyone's goals are. Peter, if you can take us to the next slide, please. So what I will bring to the table is this idea, the desire that I'm putting into this deal, and the faith that I have into this deal. This is going to be my baby. I'm going to put all my time into this. I'm going to put all my energy to prove this concept work. I'm building up relationship with architects, with builders. I'm building up connections with all the investors in order for me to bring the right mindset and skills to manage this particular project. So what makes this project unique is that it's going to be targeting the next generation, which we are our kids and kids of our kids, and Generation Z and Alphas. They don't need to be homeowners. They will be interested in renting those opportunities. That's why having more doors in our properties will make us win in the long run. So what does investor get from out of it? I'm selling basically equity. So this is a long-term project. I'm not looking into a quick money in or quick money out. It's just it's going to be a huge win down the road, but not at the very beginning of the project. So of course, cash flow is going to be split, depends on investors' need. and I will be promoting all the names, all the branding of the lenders who are going into this new concept to build this in Calgary real estate market. I will be sharing with everyone, with all my connections I'm building, with all my investors and people I'm talking to. I can get access to local newspapers, to local radio channels and stuff like this, in order to say, hey, this is the man, this is the guy who is helping me to build the history. So why don't we go and do this together?
Boom. All right. Art, thank you so much for taking the time to pitch this opportunity. So listen, everybody in the comments, put some emojis in the comments. Are you ready to hear what Ben, Matt, and Mike want to say? Need to question or need money to lend? We will see, but check it out after this.
We will be right back after these words from Cashflow Tribe.
Welcome back, everybody, to The Pitch, brought to you by Cashflow Tribe, Canada's #1 real estate community. And so I also want to just recommend that you guys check out cashflowtribepitch.com. Grab a free membership with us so that you can learn how to build wealth, how to get to financial freedom through real estate investing, through the means of community, transparency, impact, and results. Listen, we just heard Art make his pitch. And so now is the time, judges, for you to question, to dissect, to scissor up, and to figure out what you need in order to be in or out of this deal. I'm going to start off from the blue corner. Matt, take the floor.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks, Daniel. I appreciate you pitching us, Art. So I guess the biggest thing I'm not clear on is I definitely get what it is you're doing overall, but not necessarily what's exactly in it for the investor, nor exactly what our exit strategy is going to be. And I guess I didn't see what the actual after repair value or fair market value of our finished product was. I think you had to be determined and stuff. So it's do we have ballparks? Because I guess having to set new precedents is scary, especially with a new business model. If there was a proof of concept and then we were trying to set a new precedent in a new neighborhood, I think that's an area where I could get more comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for the question, Matt. So yes, this is the new concept, and in this neighborhood, there is not a lot of data in order to build our numbers upon. So, but comparing not.
So why this neighborhood? I guess then, why not go in a neighborhood where the comps are easier?
So this is the concept, and I'm trying to not invent, but maybe repeat after someone who's been doing this before. But this particular land I have, that's why I'm focusing into this area. But we can definitely look into somewhere else in order to.
I guess my only question would be: is there a risk here that we just have a hammer in search of a nail? So because we've got the land, we're looking to force to use it rather than necessarily the optimal solution?
For this particular land area, maybe. However, like I mentioned, we're not stuck to this land because we're just trying to negotiate with the seller on the price for this land, and we don't have to build over there. But the whole concept is what I'm trying to prove you guys that it will work over here with time.
Okay, cool.
I hope I answered your question.
Jump in.
Arthur, my man, I like you, man. I like you a lot. Okay, you're from back in the home country, not my home country, but another one, close to my home country. So na zdravie, anche faci. Okay. What's the why here, my brother? Why this deal? Why this property? Is there a bigger reason here?
So, yes. What made you to think about this particular deal is the thoughts to think outside of the box, to think not like every single investor, to think for the future in order to succeed with right now and with time, in order to scale up this business with time, with partnership. So I'm reading this book that Think and Grow Rich, and then it does reflect what I'm thinking. You have to have an idea. You have to have a desire. You have to have a faith in what you're doing. You have to have an imagination, proper planning, and like so on. This is basically just the overview of the book. But why I'm doing this is because I see the great potential which is already happening in Ontario, and Calgary is, I think, to my opinion, is a little behind in time, and we can be the very first ones in order to have this as a business, not just one-time deal to be done.
So here, let me touch on this here. I think it's something valuable when you live in an area and you develop knowledge, information, and then somehow develop intuition to go down a path that's not as often taken. I think there's something brilliant about taking the path less traveled. And I think you may actually be onto an opportunity here. The challenge is struggling to articulate what that opportunity is. You know, I haven't seen a return on investment here from you. I haven't seen how the investor really gets value on this side. I love your passion for it. I'm a passionate guy. I really resonate with that level of passion and thought behind it. But I think the struggle is on articulating the vision. The struggle is on really getting out there and being very tangible about the opportunity and saying, guys, I want you to believe in me, but believe in the data first. I like that you talked about the market and all this other stuff, but you're giving us a little bit of a macro viewpoint of Calgary, but a micro deal here in the sense of, it doesn't really matter what's happening in Calgary 10 years from now. What's relevant is this one build, this one deal here today. And I think part of the challenge here is you're talking about name brand. I get it. I understand it. But most lenders and investors, it doesn't really matter what the name brand on one little deal is to a lot of people. I see the passion. I see the idea. And I think there's absolute merit in that level of thinking. But I think we may be trying to overcomplicate this thing. Just curious, what's your background? Have you built the property in the past? Have you done anything like this?
No, I haven't built any properties. Just started with you guys a little shy a year ago, and this would be my next step.
Okay, cool. So here's my obvious question to you, and this is just me talking to you here. Is there a different deal that's maybe less cumbersome that you can get started with in the Calgary market so that you can develop a little bit of experience in that area, so that when we come back to the table and present this kind of big bill, it's based on a little bit more experience rather than just the intuition? Because I struggle with this, my brother. Like, if the Calgary market is flattening out, I look at Edmonton, Calgary, thinking there's got to be some opportunity up there. If it's not selling as quickly as Ontario, then where can we capitalize on that? I just don't know if building a property in a hard economic time and relatively flat market that's struggling a bit is necessarily the best idea. I think the big trigger in terms of numbers was, and maybe I read this wrong, but it seems as though your cost basis is actually higher than the sale value, if I read that correctly on your document. And if that's the case, that sounds like we're building a negative equity scenario for ourselves, which basically increases the risk for us because we have no other opportunity to sell this property and leave unscathed. Did I read that incorrectly, Arthur, or is that the case?
No, you did read this right, and the reason I put those numbers is so we have a perspective on what we could expect. However, like I said, there is not too many comparables, and this is just huge, like observation on what we could get back. That's why I'm leaning towards the concept, towards the long-term hold onto this property, and towards you guys seeing me as passionate investor into this particular market. Yes, the
passionate investor got my attention. I love that about you. I think that's awesome. But I think we have to wake up and smell the data. And if the sale value is lower than the cost to build this thing, I forbid you from doing this deal. I would rather you go to a different deal and find another opportunity, because you're the right guy. I just don't know if you're going to make money on this deal. And it's going to take a long time to prove that this thing will work. Speed is so valuable to new investors. I want you to hear me here. If you can prove that you can do a deal quickly in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, you'll gain confidence in the marketplace and people are more willing to lend to you. It's almost more important to do 5 deals and get them out of the way just to say that you've done it. By the time this deal closes, my brother, you're going to be months and months into this, and we're not going to have another opportunity to prove your competency for another year. I just think you're delaying further. So this isn't a bad deal, but it's just not a good deal today. I would rather you get speed and get quicker into the marketplace, maybe do some other types of deals, because I like your personality, but I just think the numbers are going to be skewed on this. I got sympathy for you.
Thank you very much, Ben. That's why I like you. You're not hesitant in order to provide a wise feedback. I do love this. I do agree with you. It's a definitely long-term business and a long-term deal. And answering to one of your other questions is, I do have other deals on the table. I'm just building relationship with investors within Cashflow Tribe and outside of it in order for me to have access to capital to move faster. Yes, there are definitely deals on the table that I could present. However, this is the one I thought and I have faith into that would attract your attention.
Now, I got to give the floor to Mike. Mike, we have not heard you yet. I want to hear your insight, your questions, your dissecting of this pitch.
Yeah, man. So it's super excited. Thank you very much, Artur, for bringing it to our table here. A couple of things. Actually, it's really funny because you actually collab with Callie earlier, because there's some overlap here where you and Callie can actually put something together and put your brains together. So maybe in the dugout after, you guys should kind of hammer something out, because you guys have some overlap where you can work together. So that's something I want to put on the side note for you guys. But Ben actually asked a few of the questions, but the first one was like experience, right? Like, what experience do you have? And obviously you answered that question. But I want to take part of that, and when you propose something, and it's probably a little bit more of the pitch, right? So the next guys that come here will have this. Where's the rendering? Like, I need to see a rendering of what your dreams are, right? You have passion, you have a vision, right? What is that rendering? What does that look like? Because I'm like, okay, so I'm going to put my money out to you, and like, is there tiny houses? I know you put a bit of that there, but like the next guy can bring the exact same pitch, but have tiny houses, can have like roofs with, like environmentally green roofs. They can have affordable housing, and they have a payment plan over 20 years because the government pitches money. Like, if you brought that to the table and said, you know what, I want to put these and then affordable housing in there, I get it, right? I get that. So for me, I'm like, I'll sign a 20-year deal with the government if I know I'm going to have guarantees. And I've done that before. I mean, I had about 40 units that I had government housing, and I just did. It's a complicated mess sometimes, but that's an angle that, like, man, then at least we know that you are in the trenches. Right now, you have I'll give you a quick example. About 5 to 20 years, between 5 and 20 years ago, there's tons of guys buying huge commercial properties in ghost towns all across Canada. Okay, and now Canada's sort of risen back up again. And guess what? All those areas are now separated into commercial spots, and they're rented out each individual space. But for a long time, there were those guys with those big dreams. They want to have these commercial spots that were really like cool because it's so much square footage. Like, you know what I'm talking about, right? Like old like milk factories, old like whatever it is. But you guys know what I'm talking about. And those guys actually over time had a slow death. And it's the weirdest thing to say, but think about those guys and think about what Ben just said of having like just getting 5 deals out of there, banging out, and you're gonna have the energy like Ben to just blast it out, you know? And I think if you had that, you'd come on this show differently, right? You'd come on the show with like, here's my renderings, here's my idea, this is what I have it under contract. You know what, these 7 spaces are building around where I'm planning on building. It is an 18-month deal. I can tell you, my wife was pregnant for 9 months. I know how long 9 months is. It's a long time. Anybody with kids will tell you 9 months is a long time. Now you want to give me 2 of those? Like, you've got to really sell me, right? So you need to have experience behind you. Like, even if you came with the pitch with the construction company and you said, I've got these construction guys, they've done over, 70 builds, they've done over $3 billion in builds, and I've got them on their team, I have them on paper, I have them, you just brought me a pitch. That is what I was really looking for from you, and you gave me passion, you gave me vision, you gave me the area, you gave me a bit of numbers there, but it just wasn't deep enough for me. And I feel like I need you to train me a bit better in what I'm looking at, right? So I hope that helps in terms of my overall, and it wasn't question and answer, but that gives you something to think about and maybe give me some thoughts on it, and then we'll kind of go to the next step there.
All right, guys, we are going to move to the final offer stage. This is the time where our judges will make the final offer to Art, whether we're in, we're out, or we got another deal on the table. So I got to give it right back to Ben. Ben, the floor is yours. Are you in or out of this deal?
Arthur, I like you. I hate this deal. I forbid you from doing it, but I appreciate you, my brother. I think find another deal, come back to the table. You bring a better deal to the table. I like you, and I do business with people I know, like, and trust. If I don't like you, not going to get my money. But I do like you, and I want you to come back with a better pitch. You owe it to yourself, and now you're going to owe it to me. You bring me a better deal, I'll fund it for you. But in this one, I got to be out.
We got to move on to Mike Van Hout. I got to give you the floor. Are you in or are you out?
So I'm going to split that deal with Ben. So Ben, the next time he walks on this table and he's got a pitch for you, I'm 50 in, baby. Because he's a good kid, man. He's a good kid. You know what? He took the time here today to give us a good pitch. He just needs to hone his craft on pitching it, and he's got to be a little bit tighter on his pitch, right? I think he was just looking a bit too dreamy. I think that book just a little bit got to him. You know what I mean? He's got to bring it down to earth a little bit for me personally, you know?
Let me explain what Mike just said. Mike just said, I want to take half of Ben's profit on the next time he makes money with this guy. That's what Mike's saying right now. All right? So I like it, Mike. Good job, man.
Nice.
That's awesome. I love it. All right, now I got a final opportunity here from the blue corner. We got to determine from Matt, is he in or is he out? Matt, what do you have to say?
Yeah, I'm out, but definitely appreciate you coming on the show, Art, and definitely look forward to seeing you grow on Cashflow Tribe. It's been fun answering your questions every Monday night for the last year.
That's awesome. Art, at this time, there's a great opportunity here. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you saw what just happened here, but Art may have not had an opportunity with this pitch, but this game is not over. The opportunity to come back stronger with another opportunity is still on the horizon. You already have at least 2 interested investors and people who want to partner with you. So Art, what do you have to take away and share with our audience tonight?
Yes, thank you very much, guys. I do really appreciate your time. I'm sorry it's getting a little darker here, but anyway, that's very, very interesting and great experience. And I jumped in and I overcome myself. I overcome my beliefs and limitations. So, and I do appreciate, Ben, your impact, Mike, yours, and Matt as well. So No limits. That's true. So I am bringing the pitch, the new deal to the pitch, and you guys will hear from me. And thanks again. I do have answers for all your questions. I'm transferring all those to Dugout because I do have the great vision for my future and our future. That's what I should say. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's fantastic. Art, thank you so much. Before we go to the Dugout, and if you're interested in joining us, listen, you don't have a premium membership, go ahead and grab one at cashflowtribepitch.com. You want to build, listen, guys, if you haven't noticed yet, this is the opportunity for you to start building relationships with people who have money to lend and money to spend on key relationships. The fastest way to get to the money is to get into the rooms where the money is. And so I highly recommend, if you're looking to get into this game, I saw some of you DMing me, wanted to get on this pitch. So the fastest way to do that, hop into the Zoom link, get a premium membership, and get on cashflowtribepitch.com so we can grab it. But before we head over there, I got to give the floor from the blue corner. Matt, is there any last words you have to say today?
No, just always fun being on the pitch and seeing everyone's deals. And I think it's a really important reminder, guys, just, you need a lot of clarity when it comes to these presentations. Far too often we're left with way too many questions after the 5-minute pitch. So we need to really understand what's the risk, what's the reward, what's your experience.
All right, I gotta go to the Mike Van Hout corner. Mike, what do you have to say tonight?
Yeah, I think similar to what Matt said. I think if the clarity is important. I mean, if you're coming here, it's to basically take the best sculpture you have and present it to sell it at a fair. If your sculpture is full of ketchup and your sculpture is cracked, it's hard, right? I mean, the vision was there in your heart, and you can be crying all day long about how nice your sculpture was, but we're only buying the sculpture, unfortunately, right? So that's where it happens. Where with us, we're just like, we work hard for our money, and we expect you to work as hard. And if you can't put the hardness together to pitch us, then it falls a bit shy there, right? So that's where I'm saying. But
Mike, that was fantastic. Sorry, go ahead. I thought you were done.
No, I am done. I was just kind of overall. I mean, like Ben, I'm a passionate guy, and I really just everything's on my shoulder, and I feel like those guys did have everything on their shoulder. So if the roles were reversed, I would have probably done the same until somebody just smacked me and said, "Look, man, like these guys have gone through the motions, they've done it, and their time is limited, and they have money to pitch. So let me put the biggest pitch possible forward. Because if you don't do that, then what's the point of coming on, right? So that's how I look at it, and this is only going to get better and better, right? So if you guys want me back in 3 to 4, 6, 8 months, I want to come back, and then I'm going to bring Ben's got $2 million. I'm going to get my $3.5 million back, so I'm going to bring $5 million to the table next time. But I'm in, baby. I love it.
Come on, man. I love it. I love it. And to the red corner, Ben, finish us off. 30 seconds here. What do you have to say?
Listen, guys, I know exactly where they've been before. I've raised over $30 million privately because I had a dream and I was willing to push and ask. Never, ever waste an opportunity. You either need to get the deal or win the favor of the person you're talking to. If Art is smart, he's going to come back and follow up with us because he made an impression. If you don't get the deal, position yourself. He did do one thing that I recognize that maybe he doesn't, is he price anchored himself. If the first time you get up to swing, it's a crappy deal, at least set the bar. So next time you come in with a reasonable deal, it's easier to get the favor and get the deal done. Number one thing that you got to remember is we live in a world of voyeurism. Your biggest problem isn't that you can't raise money. It's that nobody knows you and nobody says anything. I think it's amazing that people step up to the plate. They put themselves out there. They're vulnerable. They share their deal because if nothing else, they'll be remembered and they can always come for a comeback. Step up to the plate and make it happen. So I'm happy that he did that, and I think he will be back. And he reminds me of a younger, better looking, more hair version of myself. So that's my feedback.
That's fantastic. Art, shout out to you. Callie, congrats to you. Trammy, I saw your comment. Yes, we are better than the Housewives of Atlanta or whatever other cities out there on TV. We are The Pitch, brought to you by Cashflow Tribe. We'll be back next week. And so we appreciate every one of you coming on. This has been an absolute pleasure rocking with all of y'all tonight. I want to thank you for your comments and your engagement. And I want to thank our guest, Mike. Thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate you sharing your insight, the opportunities. And I know this is only the first of many to come. I also want to thank Ben and Matt and Peter, the producer, Peter Klosko. And until next time, hang out with us in the dugout. We'll catch you on Zoom. Go ahead and get yourself a premium membership, and I'll see you on the other side. Peace and love.
Yo, wait. You know what I do every time, man, because you know I'm trying to win. I'm trying to win this game. So I appreciate the people sharing the comments. I'm selecting 2 of them to drop out some cash. So Carly Dawn, you got $100 coming to you tonight for sharing the Humble stream. Team Humble on the pitch tonight. Carly Dawn, you got $100 coming your way. And Ben Cartwright, you got $100 coming your way. You guys, I love it. I appreciate you guys sharing the stream, supporting the community. You guys are absolutely amazing, and we can keep growing together. So Carly, congratulations. Let's go. And Ben, congratulations. That's all I got.
Hold up, man. I know this ain't Christmas, but I got to get in the giving mood too then, all right? I've been telling y'all to sign up for free $99, and I want to reward those who took action. Listen, I got a name here. The name is LaSalle Senanyake. Goodness gracious, I hope I said it right. But if I did, listen, I just awarded you $50 for signing up, taking action for Cashflow Tribe. And I want you to see the success that is possible coming on the other side. So congrats to you. Our team will email you and get you that money. But until next time, everybody, from Ben, from Mike, from Matt, and the team at Cashflow Tribe, take care, and I'll catch you next time.
My name is Alex Nsapea. I've joined the Cashflow Tribe about a month and a half ago. I do have a full-time job. I've been doing real estate investments on my own for the better part of 8 to 10 years. It has been very slow, lone wolf mentality. Only been in the real estate investment and business ownership mindset for a few months now, so it was quite slow. Meeting like-minded individuals that I can collaborate with has been a nice change of pace. Cashflow Tribe has been some serious practitioner information that I was able to tap into, but I knew I needed to take it to a higher level.
My name is Soham Gupta. I am with Cashflow Tribe since April of 2020. My life before I came into Cashflow Tribe, I was working my job and just paying my bills. I was just getting by. One day while I was working at my work, I work as a general laborer, picking a lot of heavy cases, and my knee started hurting really bad. And I was so upset about that work that I thought, man, what am I doing over here? And that really made me take the leap forward to do something about it and join Cashflow Tribe. Happy that I have a purpose now. I learned a lot about real estate investing. I have plans to implement on them, and I think within the next couple of months, I would be making a lot of money compared to what I was working in.
My name is Daniel LeBlanc, and I joined Cashflow Tribe back in March. I was stuck. I couldn't go any further up. So when COVID happened, I was at home. I had no more work. I had one job to finish before, and I finished it. And then I couldn't take on more jobs because people were staying in the homes with kids and all that, so we can't do work with people living in their homes. I've been doing investments since 2006, so it's not my first rodeo. I've done 2 major failures where I had to lose everything and start again. It's very hard. So the whole world's crashing down financially, and you're just like, you got to go another 7 years before your credit gets worked up again, so you can get the courage to go back forward and do your deals again. Since I found Cashflow Tribe, things are going back for the positive, the way I love it. Because before that, I was like losing energy, losing focus for it. The drive was gone. And then when I got Cashflow Tribe, they were talking about all the strategies and all that stuff, and they're saying how possible it can be. It just boosted my spirit back up. I'm back on the game. I'm back finding that life that I lost back when everything went wrong, right? Everybody wins. And if somebody's losing in one of my deals, I don't want to do a deal. I don't care if I win. I don't want it. I could make $1 million on a deal. If I cannot have my partners to win on the deal as well, I don't want the deal.
My name is Joshua Clow, and I joined Cashflow Tribe back in March. Before I joined Cashflow Tribe, I would go to these meetups, and nothing really changed. There was no accountability, which is one thing that's really core to Cashflow Tribe. And so as soon as I had that, not only did you have this intense sense of community where people actually connected with you all the time and were eager to do so and lend out a helping hand, but you also had accountability. So you felt like you had to kind of start taking some action. I came from a pretty poor family. Both my parents were on ODSP and stuff like that. And I never really even took it in that I had a choice. I just kind of almost had this sense of having a vow of poverty on my life forever, that it's just the way it was, the way it always gonna be. And when I started to invest in myself, that was what made the mind switch. And so I'm a big believer in the power of perspective, and that can change your whole world around you. this was a big investment for myself and my wife. I'm ready to go. I want to join council. I want to start doing deals this week, and I want to start a business and just go full tilt with nothing stopping me.
Wow, everyone. What an epic and amazing show. Thank you so much to everyone who joined today. Peter, the producer, we're hanging out in the dugout right now. So if you guys aren't part of Cashflow Tribe, go to cashflowtribepitch.com, sign up for your free membership. And actually, to join the dugout, you need a premium membership. But we're all hanging out over in the dugout right now, breaking down today's deals, talking about what happened on the show. So this is an amazing opportunity to have your own seat at the table, to hear the kind of after negotiations that are going on right now in the dugout. So if you guys aren't part of Cashflow Tribe, make sure to go check out Cashflow Tribe at cashflowtribepitch.com. And what are you waiting for? There's still 68 of you guys hanging out here. Come join us in the dugout. There's big discussions, big deals going on in the dugout. We'll see you guys next week for another epic, amazing live stream here with The Pitch, Canada's hottest new reality show. So thank you guys so much for watching. Head over to The Pitch, head over to the dugout right now because we're hanging out. See you guys next week.